Welcome. Good morning, everybody. And hello, everybody online. My name is Sally Choi. It's really nice meeting you. I'm the new director at the Office of Generic Drugs. Since this is my very first time making this formal presentation as the OGD director, and it's been about a month since I joined this office, I thought maybe I'll just introduce myself a little more on top of what Brenda just nicely introduced about me. I had actually very fortunate opportunities, having a lot of different changes and turns in my pharmaceutical career. I had opportunity working at the discovery and the development side of the drug, actually mostly on the new drug side, from the pharma setting, from the consulting side, and from the regulatory side. My a graduate program, my advisor was Dr. Gordon Amidan, who actually developed the biopharmaceutics classification system, BCS, which is an incredible vital part of the bioequivalence evaluation with the FDA. And also in the consulting side, I worked with the various different type of and the sizes of the industry, mainly working on them actually getting into the US market by getting the approval at the US FDA. Also, I think I might have actually worked with some of the generic companies, but the major projects that I actually worked on were the biosimilars and the new drug programs, rather than the actually generic programs. Probably the area where the part of the experience where I really worked on the generic side might be my previous office, which is the Office of Study Integrity and Surveillance, which is called the OSIS, at the Office of Translational Science at FDA. This office actually focused on the inspection on the bioequivalence study sites as well as bioanalytical sites. Bioequivalence study, as you know, is very important on the new drug side, but also definitely is a critical part of the generic side, and therefore OGD was the most important and biggest client to this office. Well, since I joined this OGD, I've been spending a lot of time getting to know my office and the staff. I've been working very closely with my acting deputy director, Dr. Howard Chazen, and we have 4 sub-offices. The ORS, Office of Research and Standards, led by Dr. Leyenberger, who is actually sitting there, make sure that we have the standard that we apply to our application assessment based on the best science and the regulatory, the research. The Office of Bioequivalence, led by Dr. Of course, this is the main engine of our office, where all the reviewers, therefore reviewing the bioequivalence evaluation, then the applicants does PK endpoint, clinical endpoint. Actually, also, this is the office where the pharmacology and toxicology reviewers actually reside in the OGD. Now, Office of Generic Drug Policy, this policy group led by Ms. Meryl Tupanian, well, they make sure that we apply the consistent and the appropriate policies and regulations in all of our assessment as well as the communication. And of course, Office of Regulatory Operation, ORO, led by Mr. Ted Sherwood. They have a lot of different functions here. As you can see, the Division of Labeling Review, Filing Review, Project Management, Quality Management. They make sure that our operation actually runs smoothly and efficiently. Now, even though it's not shown in this organization chart, I have an excellent also communication group who supports our office, making sure that we have the right communication internally, externally, in timely manner. And also, we have an associate director who actually devotes his time on the global affair area, making sure that we globalize the standards that we apply in the generic drug program. Incredible office. The short 1 month that I have learned already, I can tell that our office is actually composed of incredibly talented, and more than anything, very dedicated staff. I'm very proud. Well, this slide is actually something that you might have seen from last year. Dr. Kathleen Wool, Cook, who actually led the OGD for many years, very successfully, and who retired early last month in March, had this actually slide in last year's forum as well. The reason that I'm utilizing this slide again is just the importance of the collaboration that we need and we have within the FDA. We work with the different offices. OGD alone cannot actually have a successful generic program, and therefore we definitely work with different offices and across the different centers. Of course, the most important partner, as you can see in this color, the Office of Pharmaceutical Quality, led by Dr. Mike Kacha, who you're going to be hearing after me. The partnership and the collaboration that we have and we need to have a successful program is truly essential. Now, what I just talked to you about is on the US FDA side of the generic program. And yes, it is a very important part of this generic drug program. But of course, without the industry, without the generic companies that if you're not actually developing the quality, the generic products, and the quality applications, of course, there is no generic program. But not just the industry and the regulatory agents that we need to work together, but also the healthcare providers and the patients, also the pharmacists who dispense these products, and the researchers, making sure that we're at the top of the science, which is the basis of the generic drug program, and also healthcare payers and the lawmakers. In order for us to actually have a successful generic drug program worldwide, we need all of these groups working together and have the right collaboration. I kind of had a chance to look at the survey of all the participants in this forum, remotely and in person, and I believe all of us actually belong to at least one or more groups of this. So we need to actually work together to make sure that this generic program actually works and go to the next level of the excellence. Now I'm going to go a little more specific to this generic drug user fee amendments called GDUFA. As many of you know, that this reflects negotiated agreements with the industry, making sure that we have the efficient drug approval and also quality application comes in. We are already in the GDUFA 2, 2019. The GDUFA 2 started in 2017. By the way, when you get these slides, you're going to see a lot of blue fonts on my slide deck. These blue fonts actually represents the hot links. Once you click, there's an incredible amount of information and the data residing there. Our office, OPQ, at the FDA, we work really hard to put out this information out there for you to utilize and gain all the information that you need. We have excellent speakers lined up today and tomorrow. You're going to be getting a lot of information, but still at the end of the 2 days, you will have still a lot of questions that have not been answered. I guarantee you, when you actually utilize these blue links in various of my slides as well as subsequent slides, you're going to get your answers one way or another. Going back to the GDUFA 2, in the GDUFA 2, there are 6 big elements or the commitments that we have made, that we have to actually make sure that we have a certain goals that we have to meet in the performance-wise, and also the review program enhancements, and the pre-ANDA meeting, as well as the review cycle meetings and, for the complex products, a very hot topic, as well as a DMF review program enhancements, facilities, enhanced accountability and reporting. All of these topics will be touched upon next 2 days, and you're going to get very specific data and information. But so, I'm going to actually go over just a very high level of some of the data from this program. Well, how many ANDA did we actually receive in 2018? Now, I'm talking about fiscal year 2018, and fiscal year means that it starts from the October 1st of 2017 and ends at the end of the September of 2018. And we received 1,044 ANDAs. Once we receive this actually original the NDAs, we have a very specific timeline that we have to work on for the assessment of these applications. As you can see, there are 3 big phases once we receive the applications: filing stage, assessment, and then getting ready for the final actions. Now, all these are kind of sequentially work, but we have a lot of overlapping activities going on through this assessment period. During the GDUFA 2 negotiation, we also added a lot of different milestones and interactions so that we actually talk to the applicants more often. Even before the submission, we have a pre-ANDA meetings where we can actually interact with you and discuss about how to develop especially the complex drug products. But also after 60 days of the filing, and then there's a mid-review cycle meeting in between, there's an information request that we can actually issue, as well as discipline review letters, the DRLs that we issued. As a matter of fact, in fiscal year 2018, during 1 year, we have issued 6,500 IRs and DRLs. That's an incredible amount of actually communication that we're making with the applicants. And we hope that this will really help in terms of getting the quality, the generic products out there in timely manner. Now, as you know, at the end of the assessment, there are 3 actions that we can take: approval, tentative approval, or the complete response. But even before we reach that, after you submit the application, about 60 days or so after our filing, there is an action that we issue, which is a refuse to receive. Now, this is something that you don't want to see, we don't want to see. And when you actually look at this graph, you see the FY18, there was a decrease, a significant decrease to 8.3% receiving this refuse to receive. Now, I think this is a great direction. And I think what it means is that we're doing our job in communicating that what is it that we're looking for, as well as the industry, the generic industry, actually is doing a great job in knowing what is it that how to submit the quality applications, and therefore reducing this number. We still have a room to work on. Definitely, there is there, but definitely this is the right direction, and I look forward to working with you to even get to the next level. How many do we actually approve in with FY18? We did about 190 tentative and 781 actual approval. As you can see here, in last 2 years, FY17 and 18, close to about 1,000 approvals have been happening for past 2 years. And how about the goals, the performance goals? Depending on the situation, especially about the inspection, that we have 8-month or 10-month goals for the original new applications. And we're supposed to meet the timeline in 90% of the applications, and we exceeded with a 96%. So we are doing a lot of good things in the right direction, and I think that means it's not just the FDA, but it's all of you that who are in part of the generic drug program actually is doing right things. Now, I want to talk about a little bit about this PSGs, the product-specific guidance, another tool that actually help us improve our quality here. The PSG website actually contains almost 1,700 guidances at this time, and we are continuously actually posting new ones and reporting on a quarterly basis. As a matter of fact, in FY18, we have published about 208. Out of that, 136 were the new product-specific guidances. It's a lot of work. And also the pre-ANDA meetings. You will actually have the speakers who will be speaking very specifically on this area subsequently after this talk, so I won't go into the detail of it. But how many actually do we get? In FY18, we received 83 requests for this meeting. That's actually more than 3-fold from the previous year of that. Now, pre-ANDA meeting, receiving it, and how many we get, that's not the end of it. We actually have a certain targets that we should actually meet. Grant or deny the meeting within 30 days, holding the meetings or written response within 120 days, and then send meeting minutes within 30 days. As you can see that we have far exceeded these targets. Everybody working really hard together. Now let me talk about a little bit about the science side, another very important aspect of this group agreements. 2018, we funded over $14 million supporting the various contracts, grants, and the collaborations. As a matter of fact, our FY19 science priorities actually were determined based on your input. And you actually have an opportunity to do that again for our FY20. So this is a little bit of advertisement moment. Here in May 1, 2019, we're going to have this 2019 Regulatory Science Initiative Public Workshop at the White Oak campus at FDA. Now, this is an opportunity where you can come and voice your thoughts about what should be our science FY20 priority should be. And I think I am opening this session as well in that workshop. And I look forward to actually seeing some of you there. Well, so there was a lot of a group of work that we are doing, and you're going to see a lot more of that wonderful work that we're doing subsequent next 2 days. But there are so many other areas that we're working on. Out of all that, I'm going to just touch base a little bit about this Drug Competition Action Plan, DCAP. This Drug Competition Action Plan, DCAP, actually was announced in June 2017 by our commissioner. Basically what it is, we're trying to get rid of the unnecessary obstacles for the generic products so that there is a healthy, a good competition in the generic drug markets. And there are three different big areas that they were focusing on. The very first one is the improving the efficiency of generic drug development, review, and approval. I have listed a lot of guidances and map here. What it tells you is that these are the sites where you can see how we review the ANDA, but also how you can prepare the quality ANDA for us. Please make good use of those. The second area, maximizing scientific and regulatory clarity for complex generic drug products. Out of all the PSGs, the product-specific guidance that we've been working on, 76 of them actually involve the complex generics in 2018. And also, we're continuously working on various guidances on the complex products so that we can give you the guidance on how to develop these complex products. And of course, I know that in terms of getting these guidances out, all of your inputs are also reflected in various workshops and discussions that are happening. The third one is the closing loopholes that allow brand drug companies to game the system. My understanding that a lot of generic companies are struggling having the access to the RLD, the reference listed drug from the brand drug, for the bioequivalence evaluation. What is it that we can do to actually help you? We actually published the site where there's a list of drug products which FDA has received the increase related to this RLD access. Also, REMS is another area that we can have a whole day session about. And that's another area that brand drugs actually can give a hard time to the generic products. And we actually draft the guidances here where you have an option of working with a brand drug on coming up with a single share system of the REMS, or actually getting the waiver and going on your own. All of these are the examples of the ways that we're trying to support you so that we actually have this healthy competition in the generic side. As a matter of fact, the one more elements, encouraging development of generic drugs in markets with a limited competition. We want to make sure not just those popular ones, but the areas where we actually have a limited number of the generics available, we want actually the generic companies to enter and have healthy competition in there. And these are some of the sites and places where you can get some additional information. Now, in most of the presentations, these kind of resource slides are usually attached as appendix after the presentation for your information. But there is a reason why I'm actually presenting this as part of my presentation today. I just cannot help emphasize the importance of all these blue fonts that you see here, all these hot links. Please take a use of those. There's tons of information, and I'm actually learning about the generic side by clicking this, and this has an incredible of our history, the experiences, the data, the progress that we're making, and the direction that we want to go. And so please make a use of it. As well as there are tons of podcasts and the webinars that are available for you that you can actually utilize and learn. Now I'm bringing back this slide back to you. The reason that I'm talking about, the reason that we are actually having this session, the interactions that we are having, why are we doing this? Because we want the success for these generic drug programs. As a matter of fact, while I was pursuing this opportunity for the director position at this office, when I found out that, the drug that we're using, over 90% of them are actually generic drug products, that's just an incredible part of our society and something that we cannot neglect. And I'm incredibly proud, that our office is playing the pivotal part and critical part of creating the important aspect of this society through making sure that quality generic drugs are available to you. So once again, I'm reminding ourselves for our office, our mission and the vision. Making high quality, affordable medicines available to the public, and us becoming the world leader in the science and regulation of generic medicines. This was my first presentation, and I really look forward to working with all of you going forward. And I hope that you enjoy the next 2 days of sessions. And thank you so much for your attention. And now I would like to actually introduce Dr. Mike Kapcha, my colleague who I already started a good collaboration with, and I look forward to, and I'm supposed to give a little more fancier kind of introduction to you.